I was like,
speaking of that,
yeah.
two things.
Okay.
Two things about crab. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
when I went to Harris Teeter
Yes.
for that little interview thing that they did,
Yes.
like the promo, whatever,
Yes.
I was sniffing around trying to find a little something I could snack on. And I didn't end up getting this because I was like, I don't want to smell like crab
Oh, for this
thing, like for
spot.
these
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
But I made a mental note for the future
Okay.
that they had in little plastic containers, kind of like near the deli,
Mm-hmm.
just crab meat.
Yes.
Just the crab meat that comes out of the leg. I'm not
Yes.
saying shredded. I'm not saying imitation.
Okay. Yeah.
I am saying that thick, juicy
That thick
meat.
leg meat.
You know.
Yes.
They had, it was maybe like 6 or 7 of those in a little plastic container for $5.
And it wasn't imitation.
It was not imitation. $5.
Why have I not seen this?
It was $4.99 on the sticker.
Stop.
And it was the crab leg juicy meat chunks. And I said, number one, what a great deal. Number two,
What a great deal.
protein galore. You could really treat yourself
I love that for $5.
for $5.
Oh my God. This might maybe just change my whole life.
I know.
My glands are
The glands are sweating.
like when you think about eating a sweet tart and they just
yeah.
automatically start going. That's me
Ooh.
thinking about just a
That
lean-
Harris Teeter meat.
Oh my God.
So, you guys, let's be on the lookout for that.
Hold on. So explain exactly where you saw it. So
Okay.
not at the seafood counter.
No. Okay.
the deli.
And now let's be clear.
Let's be clear.
This was in the Harrisburg Harris Teeter. Okay. I had to drive over there to do this interview. And so I thought to myself,
Mm-hmm.
you've never seen this before.
No.
What's going on? But I will say the layout of this particular Harris Teeter
Mhm.
was almost identical to the one across from Waverly.
Okay. I've been
Okay.
in that one.
That
We've
big
been in that one together.
Yes, across from Lifetime Gym,
Yes.
across from Waverly. You guys know.
Yes.
There's a big old Harris Teeter that they built. Okay.
Mhm.
This one in Harrisburg was identical. So I'm using my brain, and I thought to think.
You put on that
I
monocle.
put on my monocle.
Uh-huh.
I thought to think, and I said, self, I'm going to go check out that Waverly HT and see if I can find these chunks of crab legs.
Okay.
So it would be you walk in, you're kind of just past the produce
Okay. I know.
towards deli,
Mhm.
and there was just a little cold case that they had out.
A little cold case.
A little cold case.
Okay. I'm going to have to look. Now, the Park Road Harris Teeter is not big.
Yeah,
It's not big.
it's not.
But the South Boulevard one is.
It is.
So maybe I'll look there. But I feel like I know that grocery store backwards and forwards. I'm wondering if it's because, is Harrisburg close to Lake Norman?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I know.
I was just thinking if it's one closer to like a body of water.
Are there crabs in Lake Shore?
I'm just thinking a body of water. Just going with a body of water.
We're coming for you, crabs.
Yeah. I'm just thinking the boat get it there.
It's true. I mean, I guess
the boat get it there.
people like a seafood.
They think about it when they're close to the lake.
Yeah, if you're at Rusty Bucket, which I don't think exists anymore, but let's say you were 12 years ago.
Hold on. Rusty Bucket in South Park, you mean? Where we ate and had that delicious French onion soup?
We do like that, but I'm saying there was the one, Rusty Rudder.
There it is.
Rusty Rudder.
Rusty Rudder.
Got my Rusties.
It's
mixed
okay. Happens all the
up. A
time.
lot of Rusties.
I'm rusty. Just like in general.
We are.
Yeah. Just rusty.
That's a good answer. When someone says, how are you? You could say,
Rusty. Rusty and crusty. You know, and dusty sometimes.
wow.
All the usties.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how did that work out? Rusty, crusty, dusty.
Yeah.
Those are 3 very descriptive words
Very.
for things aren't great.
And you're welcome to use them.
Wow.
It can just be an inside joke between all of us, like a secret handshake.
Little handshake.
If we see each other out and about, just say rusty. And I'll know you're a podcat. And maybe other people don't need to know. Maybe they don't need to
Ooh.
know. Maybe there's only 2 crab things left at the
Ooh.
teeter. And we want to make sure no one else gets them. But I say, Rusty.
Then you better run.
And you all know to run over Get them crab legs.
Run to Harris Teeter. I might have taken a picture. If I did,
Okay, receipts are coming.
I'll send the receipt. I feel like maybe I did.
We can talk to Dana about this. And
Yes.
just be like, why is it not in all of them? Can we make room in the space?
I will
in the
tell
cold
you,
case?
I would scoop up 2 of those per week,
Easily.
lickety split,
Yeah, I mean, I would eat them before I even got out of the store.
because your tummy will be full. You guys, it's protein on protein on protein.
And it's such lean protein.
It's so good for you.
I want
God, we
that right now. Maybe we'll just leave here. I won't do the thing I have to do.
You will abandon your commitments
Abandon
to
that
go
commitment.
get the $5 crab meat.
Okay, well, I can be tempted. If anything's going to sway me, it's crab meat.
It's crab meat. Well, speaking of, the other crab-related item
Yeah.
on my list is I got a Maryland-style crab dip,
Okay, yeah. From where?
also from HT.
Okay, great.
Now, this was an online order I did. So I can't even tell y'all where it was, but it popped up randomly as I was doing my online order, and I was like, I'll buy
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. Add to cart.
I'll buy that.
immediately.
So added to cart, it came in. Matt and I busted that thing open yesterday afternoon with some gluten-free Snyder pretzels.
Yeah, of course.
Wowie zowie.
Really, it was that good.
It took me to the coast.
Ah,
Oh, it was so good.
Oh.
I'm excited to get home and eat more of
oh,
it.
y'all didn't. Oh, that's the best. Because sometimes the worst is when it's so good that you have no self-control and you eat the whole thing.
I mean, it was a nice sized tub. Even Lachlan had a little bit.
okay, was it spicy? Was there a little kick?
A little bit.
Okay.
Maybe the tiniest little bit of
I like
kick.
a little kick.
But it was, I mean, we were eating outside and the neighbor's cat came out of the woods.
Bruno came?
Bruno came because he could smell the crab.
Also because I think he knows that you need a little kitty love.
Yes, and we were gooching him and loving him.
Ah.
I did have to keep lifting up the crab so he wouldn't face plant into it, but it did lure him out of the woods. So I'm just, Harris Teeter, whatever you're doing with
Yes.
the crab lately,
Yes.
it's working for me.
And every once in a while, they will put their crab legs on Vic's special.
Let's get ready to
Do your crab dance.
Look
Look at us. We are crabs.
Y'all ready for this? I'm always ready to eat crab legs.
You know what? But we're blue crabs
Huh?
because we're in blue.
Oh, yeah, we are blue crabs. Yeah, we're head to toe blue denim.
Look at
I've already
us.
worn this outfit here before, but I don't have a lot to wear. So you're going to see a lot of repeats until I continue to stock up.
Yes, and stock you will.
And I will stock up.
I mean, maybe I just need to give you some clothes.
Yeah, I would like that.
I mean, I feel like we're there.
No, I don't know that we're there on all the things. Certainly not your pants.
Well,
Not your pants. I could not fit into this jumpsuit right now. I know that.
I really had to suck in to get this sucker on.
I know that I cannot get into that. I can't get into all your stuff, but yeah, maybe like some like looser tops and
Okay.
stuff.
I'm
because
gonna go
I don't have
through.
boobs anymore.
Yeah, you don't have
So
boobs.
that's what's helpful about the tops because beforehand, like even I mean, obviously I was way bigger, but like the boobs would have never.
That's true.
Could
Okay,
have
I'm going to
never.
look through and I'm going to see what I can dig up.
I do need some more tops.
Okay.
And I'm fine with having just two. No, I have 3 pairs of pants.
I feel like pants, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, do we all, even I have lots of jeans.
Okay, watch what you're gonna say
Okay,
here.
I'm going to say.
because I know how many pairs of jeans you have.
You know I have a lot of pants, a lot of jeans. I like a trouser. I like a jegging.
Yeah.
I like all different
A
kinds
pleather.
of leggings. I like a flare pant.
Yes.
You know, all of that is true. Not going to deny.
Yeah.
I like a velvet flare.
I know you do. You like a corduroy flare.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
But
You like a cargo.
when it comes
Kristin,
to
you have 7,000 pairs of pants, and she's about to say, you can get away with just
You
having a
can.
capsule wardrobe, and I know, and that's what I live by.
But look, I'm just don't count what I'm wearing today. But I'm just saying you can get away with a couple pairs of jeans that fit you just right because
Yeah.
we all know I might have a lot of jeans, but do I have those 3 pairs that I'm always going to reach for?
Yeah.
Yes, because those are the ones that fit me best and they feel good and they fit right and yada
you can
yada.
sit in them without dying.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so you can just have that.
And that is what I'm focused on. I'm focused on just a handful
and you've
of
got your
pants,
leggings that are good.
and I can rotate them out.
Yeah.
But I need more tops.
Yeah.
And I am trying to stock up on them. Actually, I think I have 4 tops now. I think I've gotten up to 4. I have 4 tops,
Not 4 tops.
4 tops and 3 pairs of pants.
Okay, we can do better than 4 tops.
And I have the one set, the black set that I
Yes.
wear, the pants and the
well,
top.
and now you have that ivory colored set.
I did return it.
You did not.
I did return it.
Why?
I
I
just,
thought it looked so good. And And it was so soft.
Thank you. And it was soft. I just returned it. I just felt like,
You just didn't know if you were going to reach for it.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to reach for it. Now, I do love a jumpsuit, and I don't have, like, that one was so comfortable, it wasn't a pain in the butt to take on and off. And as we've discussed, we pee 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And 2 of them, I'm already naked. So it's not a big problem for me.
Yeah.
But I just thought, am I going to reach for it constantly? I don't know.
I get that.
But I do love it. And when I shared it, I was like, this is great because apparently it's a Skims dupe.
It is.
It's like
it was giving Skims.
Dead ringer for a Skims
It
dupe.
was giving Skims for sure.
What I wish for me, I just felt like I think it's me because I've never worn cream.
Yeah.
It was just
We're just such colorful girlies.
I know. And for me, it was just like, am I really like a cream jumpsuit girly? Is this what I'm reaching for all the time? But I did love it. The construction was great. It was a perfect dupe. And it was like under $30. And your outfit's done for the day because you don't have to, what top, what bottom. I stand by everything I promoted, but I did return it.
Okay. Well, thank you for being honest.
Yeah, of course. And I might get it in a different color.
Oh, because I liked the green.
I really liked the green. And so maybe I'll get it in a
that
different
would
color.
be speaking more to you, I think, in your colorway.
Yeah.
So we look good in green.
We do look great in green.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Speaking of you peeing 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, real quick, I did get to see you naked in that jumpsuit because when you were sweating.
Oh my God. You guys. So I got a spray tan recently from our girlfriend, Sarah, who's wonderful. So she's doing the Dolce Glow spray tan.
Dolce Glow. Don't do anything else but Dolce Glow.
You're going to contact her. Now, both of our arms are broken right now. So not right this second.
Sarah can't help you right now.
No, she had a bad tennis fall. One shoulder's dislocated, one elbow's broken.
She looks like Robo Woman.
Yes. It's
wild.
She's bionic right now.
She's a bionic lady, but she will be ready in time for summer.
Yes, and so you will contact her for your Dolce Glow spray tans.
Oh, yes.
And it is this. This tan is fading so beautifully on me.
Yeah,
that's
what I said to you.
It's not dotting. You know how they dot?
They get dot, and as you shower and as you rub up on clothing and stuff, it starts to get the white of your skin starts to peek through. The Dolce Glow just evenly fades.
It's
away.
just evenly fading away.
It's amazing.
It really is good stuff.
You don't feel like, oh, it's so patchy. Now I got to get in the shower and exfoliate my whole body. It's not like that.
No,
I'm telling you, it's the celebrity spray tan of the stars.
Yes.
Go see our girl, Sarah.
Yes. So Sarah's going to take care of your spray tans. But as we have noted here many, many times, we sweat.
We do.
When we are bringing all this hot fire content,
it's literally
the most important word is hot.
Hot.
Okay? And we our bodies are infernos.
Yes.
Infernos.
Yes.
And so I was sweating so much. Thank God I was wearing underwear.
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God I was wearing underwear that day.
True.
I was sweating so much, but I didn't really notice this until I finally had my midday pee.
Your midday pee.
Which was like at 5 p.m.
It was your pee number 2.
Yeah, yep. So I go into the bathroom at Lily's Aerial Silks, and there's a full-length mirror right across from the toilet. And because I was in a jumpsuit, I had to get, all the way naked for the most part, except for the bra. So I'm pulling up, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm like, what is that?
What do I see?
What's on my underwear?
So not you from looking down, but you looking across at the mirror.
Yeah, I'm never looking down. I'm just wiping. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling up, and I'm like having to shimmy over kind of to the sink, and that's where the mirror is.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
what is that?
What's on my underwear? And it dawns on me that I have sweat so much from recording that day that I sweat all my spray tan in my crotch.
You did.
Onto the underwear.
You sure did.
And I had to send a video to Kristin immediately.
It was glorious. And my mouth was hung open going, because I could immediately see the line and the discoloration.
And it was like this. It wasn't a straight line. It was like wavy.
And I thought, A, I don't know what she's about to say. B, does she not know what's going on? Did she pee her pants? Is she going to ask me, what do you think this is? Yeah. So I put my monocle on, but very quickly you explained, it's the tan.
Yeah. And
from the sweat.
I built up to it. I started filming up because I didn't want to give it all away. I'm like, just wait. And I start panning down, and then I zoom in on the underwear. And you guys, I was wearing underwear because it was a jumpsuit.
And I said, well, thank God it didn't get on your cream-colored Kim K-inspired jumpsuit.
Especially because I thought I might return this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't. No tan got on it. The underwear did what it did. This is why people wear underwear.
It's why they wear underwear.
Oh, for their spray tan
Yes.
sweat.
It's not just for
Not just the other juices, but this juice.
any kind of juice.
Oh, well, and I was wearing white because it was a cream colored one. And
Yeah.
you know, I finally bought new underwear and it had white in it. So that's how it could show so clearly this like Dolce Glow tan line all the way across it. So I sent it to Kristin and said, you will find this so funny because we talk about how much we sweat, but I don't think people really understand.
It was true evidence, but y'all,
Yeah.
we cannot show this in the receipts.
No, we
Sorry.
can't show this because you would see everything.
Yeah.
You would see
I mean, you've
everything.
shown a lot.
Yeah, I
but
guess.
I don't know if they want to see us waddling around with our pants around our ankles with stained
I'll DM it to you if you want it.
with stained
But I'm not putting it in on the feed. But yeah, if like you want to see it, just DM me. I don't care. I have now that I've shown my stomach, all no holds barred.
Yeah.
All bets are off. I was going to combine the two
Yeah.
of them. But now that I've shown it the one time, I'm like, well, it lives in infamy now.
It's
like
true.
anybody could have it. Anybody could have screen recorded it. Anybody could have screenshot it, sent it, to their
It
friends to be
is-
shitty.
in your digital footprint.
It's in my digital footprint. And so now I'm like, well, okay, now I'm just going to show it because
Own it.
I'm not going to be embarrassed about it anymore. It was like this thing that I felt like no one can tell. I'm like, obviously people can tell. Someone did say to me, speaking of underwear. Okay, speaking of underwear. Now, remember when I did the naked thing and somebody said, oh, your thong line? And I was like, no,
Yes.
that's my fupa fold.
Yeah, the G-string was the fold.
And then I came out and showed the stomach and did all of that and showed the leggings and how well they conceal.
Yeah.
Conceal, don't feel.
Yes.
Someone wrote me, and I can't believe I have forgotten to say this, but someone wrote me and said, I thought that was your underwear line all this time. So anytime I saw you and like wearing stuff, I just thought it was your underwear line. But then I listened to your podcast and heard you don't listen to underwear. And then you showed your stomach, and it was like the girl with the mathematics all putting it
So
together.
someone put that together on their own.
Yeah, they did.
That all along she thought that right there
Yep.
was the like a thick underwear.
Like a thick underwear line. And I was like, I found it, and she was like, I'm only saying this to you because you've shown it. And
Yeah.
and I thought you would find this funny.
It's a giggle.
Because you have mentioned the thong line not being the thong line. And so I also thought it was underwear.
I mean, I don't. Man, I mean,
Y'all are super sleuth.
I was gonna say super sleuthing. That's
Go
what
find
they're-
Kate.
That's crazy.
Isn't that funny, though? It's funny. I was just like, the amount of people who know too much.
They do.
I have shared a lot.
You've shared a lot,
I've shared a lot, and that's fine.
but that's why people love following you. Is because you're keeping it real. You're keeping it 100. You're not putting on for anybody.
No,
You never have, and you never will.
I really won't.
And I know you won't because it's just too exhausting.
It's too exhausting.
to
I
try
can't do it.
to try to keep up. But what I was going to say, your other bathroom story, speaking of trying to keep up, Leanna's idea for your Adderall. Did you catch it?
Yes, Leanna told me during your first pee of the morning.
She said, keep your bottle by the toilet paper
Buy the toilet paper.
where you would pee first, because that's the only thing you know you're for sure going to do in the morning is pee.
But I don't do it at the same time.
That's okay. I think as long as
Okay.
it's morning.
Okay, it's got to be pretty early morning because it's a time release for a long time during the day.
Okay, but let's say you're peeing by 9.
Okay. Yeah, I could try that.
I'm going to come
Next-
over. What I'm
And
saying is,
install a little
yes,
shelf.
I said I'm going to come over. We'll do a little floating shelf with a bottle of water and
Yeah.
your Adderall,
Okay,
and we can put in the little floating shelf above the TP.
and we'll try that.
I just thought she did it. Dr. Leanna, I'm calling her doctor. Leanna did it.
Yeah.
And she has figured out this is the one consistent thing that you are doing every morning is peeing.
I do pee. I do pee in the morning, and that is true. Sometimes I use the powder room, and sometimes I know. So here's the thing. Here's our master bedroom.
It is very close
The
to
powder,
bed.
the powder room is actually closer
It is.
than my master toilet.
It's true.
And so sometimes it depends how badly I got to go. And also if Wiley's at the door banging on it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'll do that, and then I'm like, well, while I'm up and letting him in, I'll go right there and pee. But that's okay. I think the goal is just to try to get it in my gullet at least once.
At least once.
So we'll put it next to one of the toilets and we'll see what happens.
I'm just saying, if you see that your life is improving,
Yeah.
maybe that would be enough.
Motivator enough.
A motivator enough to get you to pee in the same toilet every morning so that you see the pill and take it.
Did you see the DM from our girl, It's Disco Honey, Allie? She said, it's so fascinating to listen to Kristin say, like, what is something you do every day routinely? What's something every day? And that's just how a normal person's brain works.
Yeah.
And that it's so shocking to hear you go, there's not one thing I do consistently enough. Not one single thing.
Not one.
Not one. And she's like, but this is how our brains, because she has ADHD.
Yeah.
I hope it's okay that I say that. I'm sure she has. I'll
Yeah,
clear this and
we'll clear
we
it.
can back it out if we need to. But it was just funny. And I'm like, I know, but this is all the time. Like all the time with people that they just can't wrap their brain around it. You know, there are some people who are so routine.
Yeah.
And then there are people like me who couldn't do a routine if their life depended on it.
Right.
And that your brain gets to work one way and my brain has to work one way, cobbles it together. And that you're saying all this like it's so obvious. And I'm going, no, this isn't so obvious. It's not that easy. It's not.
Yeah, because and I think especially for you, because you are not a coffee drinker,
No.
for example.
Yeah.
Miranda is not coming out and putting in the Keurig and making herself a little cup of Joe. It's not happening.
No.
So there's really not, even if, I think there's many people that have ADHD and struggle with it in their own ways, but a lot of those people probably do have a cup of coffee every morning. You know what I'm saying?
They love that stimulant.
They like that. And
Yeah.
so, or they have like a very specific skincare routine that
Yeah.
they're not going to give up, right?
Yeah.
So they could put the pills next to the skincare.
Right.
You're not doing any of that.
There's nothing. There's not. I mean, besides opening my eyeballs. I mean, I guess I'm turning off my white noise machine. But even some days, I'll come home in the afternoon.
it's still on.
And I'll walk in my house and it's like,
That's
like,
Kristin.
oh my gosh, I've left the white noise machine on. And so I would say, well, I'll leave it there because I turned that off. But who am I kidding? Do I turn that off every day? No.
I'm just going with pee.
Yeah.
And
I do pee every morning. I don't think I've ever left the house in a morning and not peed.
Yeah.
You're right. So we'll start there.
We're gonna
Thank
start-
you, Leanna, for that suggestion. She is my doctor, so she prescribes it to me. She is very invested in me actually taking it.
I know.
I've taken it one time. I've taken the extended release pills that she prescribed me months ago one time.
Shut up.
I've never even refilled the prescription.
What is wrong with you? Get it together.
I do say this: my Achilles heel my whole life has been sabotage, self-sabotage. Like I
But
know that there's an easier way, and then I still sabotage myself.
But maybe
it's really bad.
This medicine is the key.
I know to not sabotage.
Exactly.
I know, but it's just chicken or egg, which comes first. It's really I know, and it's probably maddening for people with normal brains to listen to me. It is so maddening. I get that, but for people like my brain, they're like, "We see you, girl."
That's true. They do feel seen, and that's
They do
really
feel
nice.
seen, yeah. And I think a lot of times the world is made for like routine, and we're just like bebopping around. And,
Yeah, I mean, maybe you were supposed to be a hunter-gatherer type,
yeah,
where they just live day to day, moment to moment.
yeah, I do.
Moment to moment.
Literally, like
They did not know where the next meal was coming from. They didn't know where they were going to sleep that night. They didn't know anything. It was just like, hey, I see a storm coming. Let's make a shelter over here. Bada bing, bada boom.
Is Matt proud that I actually went and did the spreadsheet for Costa Rica?
Oh,
That I actually went on and X'd it?
I was shocked.
Was he proud?
He was very proud.
Okay, good.
Oh, I was
But you were
delighted.
shocked.
I was shocked because he said 2 days ago, he's like, all right, everybody's filled it out.
I did miss the deadline by a day.
You did miss the deadline.
I did, but I did it.
But you weren't last. I think Joe was last.
I wasn't last.
Joe, I think you were.
Van Gosbeck?
I think so.
Our boy Joe?
Our boy Joe. Listen, Joe's been busy. He's coaching a flag football team. He's got stuff going on. Joe, here's what I know. I said this to Matt. I'm like, I really just think Joe will do whatever.
He will. But Joe's also busy watching our YouTube videos.
It's true.
Y'all, that's the guy.
Joe is you guy.
Joe is you guy. I know we keep saying it. We keep explaining it. We keep putting it on stories. And people are still like, can you please tell me where you guy came from? And it's because back in the day,
Yeah. When we launched.
and we put stuff on YouTube, we had 9 viewers.
Yeah.
And Joe Van Gosbeck was one of the 9, but he was the only male.
The only male.
So
he's you guy.
So when we would talk directly to the camera, we would say we at first said you guys, and then we were like, there's only one.
You guy.
You guy. And for a long time, it's like I had to convince like my dad, like, no, podcasts are cool. And then he finally realized it and he loves them.
It's true.
We finally had to get your dad on. We're like,
Yes.
yes, there are other guys now, but Joe holds a special, special place in our hearts.
He has been ride or die since day one.
Yeah. He would take pictures of himself watching
the YouTube.
And Michelle would walk into their house and he'd have it queued up on the TV. And she's like, Joe's just watching our podcast again. Like, that is a level of dedication that we need. We need
good.
strong men out here doing this work. And Joe Van Gosbeck was doing it. And so when we say you guy, it is our wink, wink to Joe. And
strong men create good times.
yeah. And he's going to create a good time in Costa Rica.
But good times create weak men.
Oh, I didn't realize what you were doing there.
Weak men create hard times.
Okay.
And hard times create strong men. And that
Ooh.
is the cycle we're in.
Uh-huh.
Y'all want to guess where we're at in the cycle?
Mm-hmm.
Good times create weak men.
And so I don't mean that for you, Joe. I was just saying in Costa Rica. I didn't see where she was going. I've never heard that. So I was jumping in thinking we were getting back to our segue.
Joe. Listen.
But Joe's a strong man.
Joe, you are a strong man. He's also a military man.
Yeah, he is.
And I was just in my mind, I'm like, Joe will go and do whatever we plan. I don't think Joe's one of the ones that needs to get on and mark, I want to do zip lining, birding, kayaking, and jet skiing.
Yeah.
I just think Joe will do whatever.
Yeah, of course he'll do whatever. He's chill.
Yeah. But I'm very proud of you, but you did see what I marked for you.
You did. Of course you did. Because Matt put on the list parasailing.
Parasailing. So we go on, and the list is blank. No one has marked their X's, right?
Yeah.
So under Clint, Matt marked birding.
Hold on. Have we even told the people that we're going to Costa Rica for your 40th birthday?
We have. We told them 6 months ago.
But
we are.
It's now the planning and all that.
Yes, we're planning. Y'all.
Cruise director Matt, of course, has to do.
Y'all get ready. I think we'll have to do a recording from there.
Oh.
I may not bring all of this, but I'll have the laptop and we'll do a whole thing.
This is what Matt does best.
Oh.
But what I noticed is nearly every activity starts at 7:30 or 8 in the morning. So are we ever sleeping in on this Costa Rica
I am.
vacation?
He knows I'm sleeping in.
Did you see the time that all this is starting?
I did see some times. Listen, I think because we're going to have a group big enough that it's not like we'll be tacked onto some other groups and they can just start when we want to start.
Okay.
It's my birthday.
Stassi. It's giving Stassi. I know, but I was just like 7:30 or
No,
8
you know I'm
a.m.
not getting up for
I
that.
figured you didn't want to do that.
Although we will be on Eastern time now that I think about it. The time change is going to be, we're going to be up and at 'em in the morning.
Oh.
Think about that. The time change.
But there is time change?
In Costa Rica?
How far away is it?
I mean, I think it's going to be a 3-hour time change.
But we're already on Eastern. We're on Eastern right now.
I know.
EST.
I know. Do you know where Costa Rica is?
Tell me. Tell me where Costa Rica is.
It's out west. It's Western.
So then it's Pacific time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we are going to, our eyes are going to pop open.
Okay, I thought you were saying when we're there, it's on Eastern.
Oh, no.
But I don't think we're in the same time.
Yeah, I'm going to say
our bodies
are in Eastern.
So we might be waking up earlier anyway, so it won't be that bad.
That's what I think.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
Yeah, you picked it up, what I was putting down.
Ooh, it took me a minute.
So anyway, guys, we are going to Costa Rica. Matt is in his just
planning mode.
Planning
all the activities.
It's a vortex of planning. Every day he's creating AI. To get people excited. He's creating AI of people in Costa Rica, showing them backpacking, showing them zip
the
lining.
monkeys on them.
Monkeys. Yeah. There were some sloths. He's doing the most. Matt loves to plan a trip.
He does.
It's very important to him.
And I've never had anyone plan a trip that I'm going to be on.
Yes.
And so it's fascinating to me that oh my gosh, I'm just going to show up and do things. The only thing I had to do was mark some X's on a spreadsheet.
Yeah, because he just wants to make sure everybody gets to do some things that they want to do.
I'm down to do anything. The thing that I don't, I'm just not a big animal person. So I don't want to go and do a nature reserve or whatever and just like go stare at animals. That's not something that I'm like deeply obsessed with.
And I didn't check nature reserve either. And let me tell you why.
Yeah, because you love animals.
They can have the best intentions with that, but if the animals don't want to come out and be seen, they're not going to come out.
That's a good point.
And I don't want to spend my day just staring into the void.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
But what we are going to do is a sunset boat ride.
I'm very excited about it.
And that's going to be great.
Yeah.
And Matt figured out, because we have a chef that cooks for us every night, but he's going to get one night off.
We'll do this.
And Matt was like, we'll do the sunset cruise with the meal included on the night that the chef has off.
Wow.
So
God, he's doing it all.
He's doing it all.
And then, but this is your every day. You just show up and Matt's just planned it.
Well,
on a lot of your vacations.
Definitely the vacations.
I'm saying every day, like on vacation.
Yes.
He's
Matt does like to plan every day, and it's usually planned around sports.
Yeah. The soccer.
Where we're driving people. You guys, there's so many. Okay.
You guys. That's Joe.
You guys. Okay. The sports are taking off more than ever before. And, okay, Lachlan is in swim. Tristan is doing like a little rec league of soccer. He is also running track with school. Tinsley is doing her regular travel soccer and her middle school soccer that Matt coaches. And then Lachlan starts t-ball on Saturday. And Tristan starts flag football on Friday. Did you hear everything I just said? Matt?
My eye is twitching.
Matt, did you hear me list all of that off, babe? Like, babe. Matt, did you hear me list that?
Matt,
that's a lot.
I'm going to say this, and we just have two very different viewpoints on this. But I do want to give some parents what we did in our house.
And I like what you did.
What we did in our house is our girls were never allowed to do more than one sport at a time. Yeah. They just weren't allowed to. Now, do I have the most athletic girlies in the world? No. They both have their individual things that they did.
I feel like they have very specific athletic things
they do. Now, they were allowed to try different things, but as far as one thing still had to be at a time.
Yeah.
So Bella did taekwondo for years. That was her one thing.
Right.
She did ballet for a smidge. That was her one thing.
She did Irish dancing.
And that was her one thing during that time.
Correct.
And she did volleyball, and that was her one thing. We were never going to overlap. Then Lily did gymnastics for many years.
A long time.
That was her one thing. And then she switched into aerial silks, and that was her one thing. I couldn't, as we've discussed, my brain can only do so many things at once.
Yes.
And so I just knew my limitations. It was also a money thing.
Yeah.
These sports cost so much money now. Yeah. Even at rec. I mean, the volleyball, we've discussed this. Her volleyball was for a season, which was 7 weeks long. She had 4 or 5 games in that 7 weeks, and it was $400.
Dang.
Like, that's not cheap, I don't think, for 7 weeks of a club sport.
Yeah. No, that's a lot.
So it was definitely based on money, but also time, because I just didn't want our everyday. When I had a vision for my family, and I think Joshua had a similar one, like when we think of the nights.
Yes.
It was so important growing up in my household that we ate dinner together every night.
Yeah.
Now, whether that happened at 5 p.m. or 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, we're eating dinner together. And whether that was at a McDonald's driving through or at home sitting at the table. But when I thought about that, I just thought, what do I want those nights to look like? And how much stress is there in the getting and the picking up and the dropping off and this, needing this equipment, then this equipment. Okay, we're going to do carpool with this person because I have to be here. And all of that just sounded like, this is not the vision I have. Now, other families I know, like the sports are the whole vision. Are the vision.
And I think I didn't grow up like that. Like, I didn't grow up as like a sports family where my dad was coaching, and like my sister and I both did dance. I did cheer. Like, we were kind of more in that direction.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just like the perspective of if Matt did grow up in more of a sporty family.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah. There were 2 boys versus 2 girls.
That's
Maybe
true.
that had something to do with it.
And also, I think now too that we are in the middle school sports, that adds an extra layer onto it.
So much more intense.
Because that's just something you can do right after school, which is great, but it still involves the pickups and the games and the meets and the matches and
it's still the
things.
mental energy of knowing where they are and what they're doing.
It truly is a puzzle, and we are piecing it all together. So far, it hasn't felt too bad stressful, I think, because Matt knows that he's the one that has agreed to many of these things, and so he's doing a lot of driving.
Yeah.
I am too.
But I know you are too.
I am. But
the other reason why we were a one sport at a time family is because inevitably there were still other things added in. So if you're doing a musical instrument, do you have those practices to contend with?
Yeah.
If you're doing the play,
yeah.
If you're doing the school whatever, or science fair, that takes up 6 weeks of our time. Like there's always another thing that I knew was going to be added onto it that I'm just like, we can't be spending every moment from end of school to bedtime doing something other than being home and just like chilling as a family.
Yeah. And I do like crave those home times. And even the weekends, I have said to Matt, I'm like, I don't want to like look back and just our weekends were only just
on ball fields,
traveling here and there and being on the fields. And maybe that's the memories that the kids look back on and enjoy. I don't know. But I want to make sure we're fitting in other things in life too.
And y'all do.
We do. We live a lot of life.
You live a very, very full life. But if you are a parent of young ones and you're out there kind of thinking like, how do I want this to look?
Yeah.
It can get swept up so quickly.
Oh, it does.
It can get swept up.
Yeah.
So just think, if you set the precedent from the jump, and that's a you thing, right? Like you're going to have to say, hey, this is what we're doing. We're doing one sport at a time. You can try a lot of different things, but we're not going to be overlapping them.
Yeah.
So we're going to try soccer this time. Then we'll try t-ball next time. Then we'll try this. And then you'll find the thing you love, and then we can pour all into that if you want.
Yes.
And you can take it all the way. But like, if you do set that, then that's all they kind of know too. And I think that helps, and that's just what we always
and
did.
they'll have to accept it. Although I've been thinking more about, Bella with her scholarship application and like meeting these other kids that are like playing instruments, doing varsity sports, starting businesses, all of these things. And so I had to recently help Tinsley fill out for National Junior Honor Society. She got nominated.
Yeah.
And it was a maybe 8-question application, but they wanted to know all of these types of things. What are you involved in? What do you help with? And it was showing her the ropes with like how to fill out one of these things. You're really trying to sell yourself, okay?
Yes.
It can't just be a 1-sentence reply. This has really got to be juicy.
I really like my friends.
Yeah. It's just like, no, we got to really dig in. Like, it's okay to brag on yourself a little bit. And so we were writing down all the things and all the accomplishments. And I said, this is reminding me of all Bella has had to do to not only get into college, but get into her program, apply for all of these scholarships, on and on and on. And I've said to Matt, seeing how this has been with Bella has opened my eyes to what is now expected.
Yeah. It's a high bar.
They are expected to be doing a multitude of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Volunteering, working, creating.
Which is why I'm saying she couldn't have been doing this and playing 2 to 3 sports at a time.
But I mean,
she wouldn't have had time to volunteer.
But some kids are putting that on their application. Yeah. Oh, I did 3 sports, and I played piano, and I did that, and I started an online business, and I babysit, and I do this. Like, this is the level. And I don't want to be swept up into that. I don't want to feel forced into like making my kid just burn the candle at both ends 24/7 all of their high school career.
Correct.
That sucks.
But this is just because she was applying for such a high-level scholarship, too, I think.
But do you think even just trying to get into colleges? I mean, these kids are struggling to get into colleges.
It is. It's just
What's
harder now.
going on?
The caliber has just gone up and up and up and up. And I didn't realize that until it came to my own kid.
It's crazy.
Now, luckily, she got in, and it was really just the scholarship that opened my eyes even more that, oh, wow, she's somehow not accomplished enough. Okay.
Right.
That's a dagger to hear. But I'm like, the girl did nearly everything she could.
Do you want to give a little, there was a little
yeah.
money update.
Oh, yeah, a little money update since everyone has been so sweet about, the people who listened to that and were like, she's like my daughter. I
know.
can't believe this. I
Y'all,
can't believe it.
We have gotten the nicest messages from people that are like, give Bella a hug from me. Just so sweet.
So sweet. She has a lot of mamas out there. She has
Yeah.
a lot of mamas out there, and that's very, very nice. And that's why I shared, because a lot of y'all's kids have gone through disappointments too, and you have super high achievers and they didn't get their dream school or their dream scholarship or their dream job, and it's always worked out for the better, and that was really nice to hear too and to see. And I knew that deep down it was going to be okay. But so yeah, we find out about, she didn't get it. We're in the portal to go fill out something. I can't remember. To like go accept it. So to accept the smaller one, you still have to go through and accept it and everything. And it did say, and they said this to us during that weekend, that a lot of people still hadn't committed to NC State.
Right.
And they have been offered some of these huge scholarships as a way to lure them in. Right. Well, if they still decide that they don't want to go there, or they want to go to, they've decided on a different school.
They might get into some dream school that they're waiting on.
With an even bigger scholarship.
Yeah.
Maybe the park equivalent over there, which is way more than the Centennial.
That's right.
So they said, if those people decline, then the next person on the list will get offered the Centennial.
Ooh.
So we're holding out hope.
You guys, we never know. Anything could happen. One of these people might get into FIT.
Yep.
And they get a full ride, and they say, thanks, no thanks, and maybe Bella's next on the list. We don't know.
Maybe she will. And so we're still, that's always open, and that gives us some excitement there.
Yes.
But so we go in to kind of figure all this out, and like, well, if we accept the prestige, does it mean that you can't get the Centennial if this were to happen? So we were just kind of like looking through, and it said 3 scholarships have been given to you. And so, of course, Bella right away is like, maybe someone dropped it.
That would be amazing.
And let me click and click and click. And so she clicks on these 3, and it's just like, hey, we reviewed all of the stuff when you applied for the Centennial, and we want to give you these 3 scholarships. And they ended up totaling $20,000.
I mean.
And she didn't have to do anything.
You guys.
Yeah.
How freaking exciting is that?
So it was that boost she needed because she was feeling so rejected.
$20,000 is
20
amazing.
Grand. So we add that to the 10 from the prestige, and now we're at 30 out of 100 needed.
Okay, still.
We're a third of the way there.
Yes, I think that is awesome.
And she felt really good. So yeah, they had
Yay.
Yeah, at least they were like merit based and said, we reviewed all the things, and so not only are we offering you the prestige, but there's 3 of these out there, and we've just given them to you. You have to fill out a few questions, but like nothing hard. We're not rewriting essays and getting more teacher recommendations and more transcript and all that sort of stuff. So
that's good.
She was very excited, and it was like I said, it was like the little boost she needed to feel better.
That's good. I feel like she's in a good place.
Yeah.
Her mind is in the right.
There's more to get. And you can apply for scholarships your sophomore year, your junior year.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah. It's not only your freshman year.
Okay, so you can continue to apply. That's great.
I don't know if you can continue to apply for the Centennial. But there are other
they dole that out, I feel like.
Exactly. You're like in the class, and then you get to feel very special about that. That's what bummed her out the most. She's like, I just wanted to come back the next year and give kids hope that they could get it too,
I know.
That was the part that was the bummer. She did listen to that episode. She's like, I'm feeling a little bit embarrassed that that you had to report back that I didn't get it. I'm like, babe, do not. Everyone here listening is an adult and knows how you are feeling. They have been in your shoes in some way.
That is life, baby.
many, many times. And it's kind of nice to hear. And there's a lot of parents out there who will eventually be going through this with their kids. And and they got to hear this experience. This is real life stuff.
You have opened my eyes for sure about this. And my oldest is only in 7th grade right now, but I know very quickly that high school is coming, and we're going to be.
And this stuff matters.
It really does. And honestly, like for Bella, Bella, just know that now you're showing people what resilience looks like. And to still chase it.
Yeah.
Right? And to still say, okay, well, I didn't get this, but I'm going to run hard after that.
Yep.
And it's all going to work out, and I'm going to trust the process, and it's going to be great. And that's the stories people need to see. Not everything is the Cinderella story.
No, because everything had seemed, I think, a little easy for her so far.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Oh, well, it's just all turning up roses for Bella Miller. Oh, the Midas touch. And it just goes to show people that, no, it's not always that simple.
That's right.
It's not always simple. And she's worked really hard. And even if it did work out, it's because of 17 years of tremendous work and sacrifice.
That's right.
But, this is very human.
That's
very
what
human.
they say. God provides the wind, but man must raise the sails.
Yeah, that's what he always says.
That's what they always say.
Yeah. And I know that.
You know what I always say?
You don't need to tell me that. I already know it. I have the tattoo right here.
I always say.
What do you say?
Casey Anthony is guilty as sin.
Okay, go ahead. Tell the update. Did y'all watch all 3 parts?
We did.
Okay. I told you all it did was plant a seed. I didn't say anything.
Listen, I think, could the dad somehow even have known or have seen or have... Listen, I'm not saying the dad is innocent.
Dispose of it or something like that.
Yes. It is a disappointment that they did not dig into the dad more.
I agree.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. That seems a little shady. But what I do know is Casey Anthony in this documentary
did not convince you of anything.
Was giving Amber Heard on the stand.
Okay.
If that was not giving Amber Heard, I need some of you podcasts to sound off. I need you to watch it, and I need you to tell me, was it giving cringe level 3000 Amber Heard on the stand talking about her dog getting stung by a bee? And just so rehearsed. So the facial expressions. The
facials were weird.
The facials were so bad.
Weird.
It was bad acting. It's bad lying. I mean, Matt will tell you, we were watching it, and I would scream at the TV, "You're a liar!"
Like, why did she agree to do this? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I think it made her look worse. I really do. Now, do I think, again, it did put a little light bulb, a little flashlight on her dad? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Something's weird with that.
Was it weird to you that he was fine to go after the death penalty?
Yes, the death penalty. And then the affair, the relationship that started with the woman. I was like, you're out here looking for your granddaughter and you're striking up a relationship?
He just came off as a terrible man. And so I'm thinking, could he have done this?
Sure.
It planted enough of a seed in my mind.
I hear you, but I'm also just like, that Casey Anthony. I had forgotten some of the things that she had lied about.
Yes.
I had forgotten that she took them to Universal Studios office. I forgot,
about the nanny.
The
apartment.
Taking them to the apartment. Like, just so many things that she fully just fabricated out.
I admitted she's a pathological liar. And so this documentary, I'm like, she could just be pathologically lying about all of this. But she just put enough in my mind that, did her dad do this? Tell her about it.
Yeah.
And then she lived with that. But then I always came back to why would you still be going out? That was always the smoking gun
and
for
got
me.
the tattoo.
Yeah.
While your child is missing, you're getting tattoos and you're partying.
Yeah.
And she just, to me in the documentary, she never gave a good answer for any of that other than, well, I had trauma. And I just don't think.
Or I thought she was fine.
Yeah.
No, you knew she wasn't. You saw the body.
Yeah, my dad said she was fine. Yeah. So I believed him. What? Even if Matt, my soulmate, came to me and was like, Lachlan's missing, but trust me, he's fine. I would say,
no.
Get thee behind me, Satan.
Yeah.
I don't want to
see,
hear.
Matt hasn't abused you. So she was coming with the my father abused me.
But I think that was even if that's true,
I
still think that's a lot of excuse factory for me.
Yeah.
I don't like that. This is your kid.
Yeah.
This is why she was, quote, the most hated mom in America is because all of us looking in on this were like, you're a monster.
Yeah.
And I still stand by that.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. You absolutely can. I still think. Yeah. I do think that she knew she was dead. I think she knows Kaylee was dead.
Yeah.
I think she had convinced herself that she's not.
Yeah, there was definitely some psychosis.
Yeah.
Convinced. And Matt said that. He said the lies. It's almost like she's lied so much and so well that she believes herself.
Yes. Did you find it interesting that her defense attorneys love her so much?
They love her. They hired her.
She
lived with them.
She lives with them. She comes over to their Thanksgivings. They trust her around their children.
I know.
Something. And that also was enough for me to be like, well, they know all the details of the case and somehow they still believe her.
But even some of them.
Putting her around their children.
The one woman with the glasses was like, we still don't really know what happened to Kaylee. And I'm like, what? Who dropped the ball here? Because even if you all fully believe her, then the prosecution sucked for not trying to go after who it was.
Yeah.
You think it wasn't Casey, then who was it?
Right.
What are we doing?
And if they think it's George, then have an airtight case against him.
Yeah. And they did not.
They did not.
They did not. And the prosecution did not go after him. The police.
It's like how the prosecution, foiled OJ, and same thing here. They just didn't do a good enough job. You haven't told us anything. And even she was fine with Jose saying, yeah, it was an accidental drowning, even though she said, I knew it wasn't that.
Yeah.
Like, there was so much weird stuff that happened, but enough weird stuff that I'm like, then what did? If it's not obvious that she absolutely did, then what did?
When they did an autopsy, were they able to figure out that it was a drowning?
No, I don't think that they did. I think it was so decomposed. I don't believe that they were able to figure it out.
Okay. You guys, here's a tip.
Yeah. I can't wait for this.
Here's a tip. If there's an accident, just report it as an accident. Call 911.
Yep.
And say, oh no, there has been an accident. Someone is deceased. Please get someone here immediately and I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
There was a terrible accident.
Yep.
You don't need to bind up someone's body and bury it. You don't need to cover it up. You don't need to be in cahoots with anyone. You don't need to hide. Just call the police and tell them there was an accident.
Correct. And the mom calling a month later and being like, I've just been told.
That was weird.
What's going on there? So what happened is, did George and Casey finally tell her like, oh, something then this is what we've been trying to do, blah, 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 blah. And then she was like, I have to call the cops.
Yeah. The mom had sense and was like, wait a second, like you're telling me she's missing for real.
But what's going on? Like, there's so much confusion around it, but enough confusion that I'm like, then what did happen?
No one can tell us.
Was it her alone, or was it them together, or was it him and then he told her and then she lived with the guilt and then didn't know what to say or do?
And what you're saying right now is exactly how you're left feeling at the end of this documentary.
For sure.
You just have all these questions swirling in your head and you're just more confused than ever.
But enough questions that at least I said, okay, maybe it's not as open and shut that Casey did this.
Yeah.
And forever and ever, amen. I now know that. Like, there was enough. All I was, again, on the record, I just said it's planted enough seeds that I'm like, George very well could have done something. And he obviously seems to be a monster too in many ways. So I'm just like, did he do something? And then she lived with the guilt of him telling her that. And then she didn't know what to do from that point on. But then you wouldn't have gone out. I don't know. It's all weird. The documentary did not help.
It does not. I want people to watch it simply because I think it creates interesting conversation.
Yeah.
But
let's chat about it.
It's giving too much Amber Heard for me. I'm sorry.
The eyes and everything were very weird. The facials, I just don't know what any of this solved. I don't know the motivation behind it. And did it help her? Did it hurt her? Does it leave people with more questions than less? It seems like she still has no clue. I don't know.
She has no clue. She's living in a fantasy.
But she is living free.
Speaking of fantasy.
Yeah?
Tell people about Peter Pan. You never shared about when you went to go see it.
Oh, Peter Pan, I saw at Blumenthal.
Yes.
And okay, so I grew up loving, and a lot of people, I didn't realize so many people loved the Mary Martin Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Did you watch Mary Martin Peter Pan?
I knew exactly the one you were talking about when you said it.
Okay, so I think like CBS aired it, and it was like a live action Peter Pan, and Mary Martin was going to play Peter Pan.
This is one of those things that was erased from my brain, but
And
then
it
when
came
you
back?
said it, I was like, oh yeah, I know that.
And I believe my parents recorded it on VHS and we would rewatch it. And I had always said, like, I knew growing up was not great.
Yeah.
I knew being an adult was not awesome.
Yeah.
Like everybody, my sister always wanted to be older and I was just happy to stay the same age. Like I'm Gucci good.
Yep.
And I kind of always wanted to go to Neverland. Just never grow up, never grow up,
Yep.
never grow up.
Yep.
That's me. That's I. I'm like, I just kind of always knew that being an adult was stressful. It seemed very stressful.
Yes.
And so I just loved the idea of Peter Pan. And who doesn't want to fly? Like when you're a kid, you just always try to jump off. I'm going to fly. I'm going to fly.
I just love that pixie dust.
Yeah, and
I want that dust.
Of course you do.
I
You
like
want that
that.
pixie dust. And I love Tinkerbell, and I love all the Tinkerbell movies.
Yes, same.
Love them, and my kids love them.
Oh, we were obsessed. The Never Beast one. Talk
We
about tears. My God. Never Beast.
love the Great Fairy Rescue.
No, I like Pirate Fairy.
Of course, you love Pirate Fairy. We love the one about the sisters, Once in Winter.
Yes. Secret of the Wings.
Secret of the Wings. That's it. They're just so good. Those
Yeah.
Tinkerbell movies are so good.
So
We
good.
still watch them today with teenagers.
Yes.
And so I just always loved it. And Peter Pan, I have a partnership with Blumenthal, so I get to go to a lot of the shows. That's amazing. And it was great. I thought it was so well done. Really, really well done. Now, I thought a few of the characters weren't the strongest, but our Peter Pan was incredible.
Oh, great.
Our Peter Pan was really good. His name was Nolan, but he was very, very good, had a great voice. And our Wendy was great. Her name is something AWA, Hawa. Hawa. She was really great. I thought that the guy who played Captain Hook was amazing.
Hook is iconic.
Iconic, and he
Zaddy.
killed it. Killed the show. So I was just really pleased with all of it. I loved how they worked Tinkerbell into it. It was so cool. It was almost,
What did they do for Tink?
I think almost like a drone, but like the flickering was everywhere.
Oh, that's fun.
I don't know who was controlling it, but it was amazing. I don't know how they did it, and I still need to research how they did it, but like he could catch it, put it away. She could be, bounced around
That is
everywhere.
so neat.
But it was definitely a physical thing moving. And then the backdrop, the way that they did the visuals was so neat. They flew, they were
love
spinning
this.
and flipping and everything. It was awesome. I loved it. I highly recommended it, told everybody to go and try to see it. It was only here for like 5 days. It was a quick show, quick in and out. But if you can see the Peter Pan on tour, wherever you're listening from, definitely
I want to try to
recommend
go
it.
see.
It was really, really, really good. The kids, there were little kids in this cast.
I love little kids in a show.
4 and 5 year olds.
I am so bursting with pride for little kids in a show.
Me too. I'm like, if that were my child,
Can you imagine?
I would be sobbing the whole time.
I know. I would just be sobbing.
There was so much choreo for these. I'm telling you, the little, is it John? Is that the
John,
youngest?
yeah.
4 or 5 year olds.
Oh.
And they were keeping up with all of the choreography, all of the steps, the music, the lines, everything. And they were on the stage, the whole time.
It's amazing.
And all the Lost Boys were very young. I was really, really impressed.
I love
I was
that.
impressed by the show. Some things I know that they're trying to update. So it's like, the babysitter. So they didn't have the dog as the babysitter.
Okay.
They mention it once, but instead they were like, here comes the babysitter. And, she's like listening on her. She's listening to her iPad and, just trying to update it with that sort of stuff. Wendy at one point is trying to record a TikTok.
Oh, how funny. So it was like a little modern.
So they were trying to modernize it in some of the ways, but then went back to the very traditional story in other ways.
Yeah.
I don't think we always need to update.
Yeah, I like the days of yesteryear.
Obviously.
We like the annals of time.
Yeah, we've said it.
We want to feel that. Like, I love that era where it was like Lady and the Tramp. Like,
Yes.
though that kind of era, don't update that for me. I like that.
Yeah, so I just didn't think that was needed.
Yeah.
I don't think that you always need to do that. The audience knows that this was created in the whatever. When was the original Peter Pan?
1800s maybe?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like, we don't need it. We can suspend reality enough to not have to update it to where Wendy's in her bedroom making a TikTok.
Well, we're trying to escape those things.
Correct. So just stay in my old-timey Peter Pan.
Yes.
I'm fine with that. We don't need that. And there are plenty of shows out there that we don't update in that way. You just didn't need to do it here. And I wish that they didn't. And they were trying to make Wendy and Peter Pan have a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was needed either. Now, did they ever kiss or anything?
Yeah.
No. Like, it wasn't sexual in that way.
Sure.
But I just don't think that we needed to do it. I don't think it adds to the story.
Yeah.
We can just stick to more of the traditional story.
Yeah. We just want tradition. In a world where tradition is slipping away.
Yeah.
Please just give it to us.
Yeah, I just didn't need that in this story. I don't think people need it in all of it. We understand that the story of Peter Pan is set back in the day.
Yeah.
So there's no TikTok.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But y'all, let's chat about the TikTok ban.
Yeah. It's
I want to know how people are feeling about
looming.
this.
It feels like it's looming closer and closer.
I have so many swirling thoughts about it. Honestly, initially what I thought was these creators who really, their main profits, let's say, come from their TikTok content.
Absolutely.
And they might have Instagram Reels and these other places, but some people are like 4 million on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
That is their main platform. And my brain is sitting here going, what are they going to do?
I've tried to tell people.
You've said this.
You do not own any of these social media apps. They can be gone in a day. And they were. We're trying to make Threads not happen. Obviously, we're a two-women show here just trying to preach about that. Somebody did tag us in a thing and was like, I cannot believe this thing. And now it's sitting up on the, so not only add to story, but then it's now on our top right side.
I know it. They are shoving it down our gullet.
Stop trying to make it happen. But like Lemonade was gone in 3 weeks.
Yep.
Vine was gone in a day. MySpace disappeared. Like this happens all the time to social media sites, and people think it's just not going to happen for some reason because this is so big. Vine was huge. Musical.ly was huge.
Yeah. But now I feel like people are making so much money through TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, we might have
the monetization of it is.
We are going to have a crisis.
Oh,
If our government votes and says we're done with TikTok because it's owned by the Chinese and we don't know what they're looking at.
We don't know what data they have.
And I think that that's valid.
It's a valid point.
Very, very valid.
Yes.
But so many people have now poured their lives into it.
Yes. And made a lot of money off of it. And I've always said to people, just get it while it's good then. When it comes to these social media apps, and obviously I make money on Instagram, it's a huge part of my income streams is, I'm not saying it's a huge amount of money, but it's a huge income stream for me. My largest one is affiliate linking on my social media.
That's right.
And so that's obviously something that I'm worried about at all times. That's why I own my blog. That's why I have other revenue streams coming in.
Yeah.
Is so that I don't have to solely rely on that. But it could be gone in a day. Get it while it's good. Because TikTok, they are ramping up the thoughts on this. And for those who are a little bit lost, TikTok is owned by a Chinese company. Like the headquarters are in Beijing, I believe. I understand that the owner is a proud Singaporean.
Yeah.
Or the founder or whatever. But the like hub of it is in China. And they have not proven, I guess, to the powers that be in our government that they have secured our data and are not using that data that they are acquiring from us through this app in a harmful way.
Right. Like our government has asked for the proof, for them to just be transparent about it.
And it seems like there is a stalemate there because they're saying privacy protection, we can't, and the government is saying that's not enough for us to go off of.
Right.
And we need to know. And so anyway, they're thinking that a ban is the only way to protect us as Americans, as the government, as whatever you want to call it. And I think what TikTok is saying is we already have all that information.
Right.
So banning it is only preventing us from getting the information from new users.
Right. And I mean, probably most people that are going to be on TikTok are already on TikTok, unless you are a young kid and you grow up.
Yeah, and you're just waiting for the day that your parents will lie on your age thing and let you have it at 9 or 10, which is bonkers. Do not do that for your children. Please, God. Don't give him it at 13 either. I mean, I wouldn't say that either, but definitely don't lie on those scrolly year things so that they can get it at 8 or 9.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Don't do that.
You can't control the Discover page. We've said this 100 times. But yeah, that's what's going on with TikTok, and there is going to be a vote on it. And I think it's pretty telling, going back to what I just said 2 sentences ago, that the founder of TikTok does not allow his children on TikTok. That's the answer right there, because he knows. He knows not only the information that they could see, but he knows how addictive it is created to be and how it rots their minds.
Yeah.
I mean, it just does. It rots your mind. Even if you're seeing cute bluey videos all day long.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it's training your brain to live within 15-second clips, to get bored, to need to switch to stimuli at all times. It's very, very detrimental. And we're seeing that now. And people are just not paying attention to the truth of it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think
it's fine if it bans it in my mind.
That's kind of what I said, is I'm like, yeah, the Chinese information of it all, whatever. I'm more like, we just all need to get off of this app, right? Like, there's something to me that feels a little more, there's more substance to what's going on Instagram. We have Reels, which are similar to TikToks, but we also have standalone posts.
Yeah.
We have the profiles where we can go see people's actual posts and what they have to say about things. We have stories, so that's kind of things happening in real time. It feels more
personal
and like what reality is.
Well, it's what social media was meant to be, right? And even it can be a dumpster fire. Obviously, Instagram's not perfect
sure.
whatsoever,
Yeah.
But TikTok was created 4 15-second clips.
Yeah.
That was the premise.
Boom,
that was
boom,
from the
boom.
beginning, and it was just to keep your mind so engaged that it retrained your brain
Yeah.
how to ingest information, and everybody wants things quicker now because of it.
Correct.
And they can't sit and pay attention to anything for longer than 15 seconds because your brain was trained to think that was a normal way of taking in information, a normal speed.
Mm.
And so that's the biggest crux of it for me. And we are on it for all that to say, and Miranda and Charlotte, but like don't really do
Yeah.
a whole lot with it. You
Yeah.
can try, but you can gain traction and go viral like we did at BravoCon. That was fine, but that's
Yeah.
a very specific thing.
Yeah, that was so niche.
And people wanted information from there because they weren't there. But just a daily thing, it's not for us. That's
not for us.
That's not where we're pushing
too
our
old.
content. Yeah, we're just too old.
we were just saying before
Yeah.
this, my friend Gigi mentioned this yesterday, and it startled me that we are the adults now.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a way of like, I'm adulting, because I think that can be really overused. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, we know that we're like in our 40s and
Yeah.
we need to step up to the plate. But more, Gigi was referring to like a problem that needs to be solved, right, in society. And we've always looked to our parents
Yeah.
to be the ones to like fix what's happening
The
in our
older
world.
generation.
Fix what's happening. Like
Yep.
everything's crumbling. Like mom and dad,
What do y'all think? How does this work?
how do we fix it? Like go do it.
Yeah.
And Gigi looked at me and was like, we're the ones that are supposed to fix it.
We're the adults now.
We are the adults. We are not the Peter Pans.
No.
We are the adults that have to fix things now. And it
Yeah.
sent a shiver down my spine.
And then she told me, and I was like, oh my God, we are.
Yeah. So it's like,
It was an eye opener.
so as much as like you guys might look around in the world and see problems, see things that you want changed, whether it could be something political or just something in society.
Yeah, social, political.
Something in your kid's school or something
Mhm.
wherever.
Yeah.
And for a long time, our assumption growing up was someone else will fix it.
Yeah.
My parents will fix it.
They're handling it.
They're handling it, but they're not anymore.
It's
Want to
us.
know why? They're getting older. They're getting closer to death, and they don't care much anymore because they got one foot in the grave. We are the ones that have to live with it.
That's
and
right.
we are the ones that have to fix the problems now, y'all.
Because we're also seeing like we've brought in this next generation of people, and what are we going to leave them with?
Yes.
And so our parents did the same thing for us and are now like, yeah, it's your turn.
It's your turn,
It's your turn.
millennials.
And so that was
Ooh.
an eye opener for both of us. Thank you, Gigi, for saying that, I think. And now y'all have to live with that too, because if we have to hear it and be burdened, now you do
Now
too.
you do too. Now listen, if you guys want to live like a kid, you can go do that at Carowinds. So for our Thursday episode, we're going to tell you guys about our little time at Carowinds this past week.
Oh, that was so fun.
And we had such a good time.
Such a good time. So we'll give you the Carowinds recap because, of course, there was such funny stuff that happened.
Such good things. And I can't wait to hear how your crotch is doing.
Oh, yeah. And I know it's a lot of crotch talk, but we have more to come. To be continued. The kitty.